Hello everyone. I'm here today to talk a little bit about mentoring and what I think about mentoring because an idea has been brought to my attention about trying to have an online pool where people can go to either become mentors or seek out mentors for whatever station in life they're seeking. Now, first and foremost, I think that mentoring has become a lost art. I think that years ago people used mentors for pretty much anything that they were trying to accomplish, whether it had been a craftsman trying to understand how to build houses, or a blacksmith teaching somebody how to make horseshoes. I can recall even when I began my career in corporate business-to-business sales, the large company that I worked for assigned people mentors. It was kind of done in a rudimentary fashion. The idea being, everybody should have a mentor who has been around the block and who can understand the concept of selling and how to sell. But they really didn't put a lot of emphasis in the true mentor-protege relationship. Now, I can relate a story. My father, actually, as he approached retirement, he relied on the help of someone that he considered a mentor. He kind of called him a coach, a life coach, if you will, although my father probably wouldn't have used that kind of nomenclature. But he asked him about retirement. Specifically, his job was moving to a different location, and he approached the mentor about whether he should, first of all, take the job, as he was thinking so much about retiring, and when he should retire. And the mentor actually asked him a couple of questions by way of providing the guidance. He said, first and foremost, do you want to be in Kentucky, which is where the job was moving to, when you retire? And of course my father's reaction was, no, I don't want to be in Kentucky when I retire. My family is on the East Coast. Everything that I'm interested in doing is on the East Coast. And then secondly, well, when should I retire? He says, well, let me ask you something. How many years do you think you got left? And I don't mean before you're dead. I mean before you're all messed up. And then he says, oh, well, how many of those years do you think you want to spend working? So that, I guess, was the push my father needed to try to accelerate the retirement process and kind of got him where he wanted to go. The purpose of the story, though, is just to explain that people rely on mentors for a variety of reasons. It's not just how do I do my job better or how do I advance my career. It's what do I want to do with my life. And let me talk to somebody who has been there, who has an interest in me as a person, and whose advice to me will be specific to me. And I think that's the difference between simple advice versus a mentor-protege relationship. My brother, he is a chemical engineer by trade. He's also done a lot of work in photography. He's done some work in real estate, but he's interested right now in astronomy. Now, a challenge that he's faced is, how do I talk to somebody about what it means to be an astronomer? Where do I find somebody who has lived the astronomer life, who has advanced a career in astronomy, and who can help me decide, first of all, is it the right thing for me to pursue, and secondly, if it is the right thing for me to pursue, how do I do it? The challenge that he's faced is being unable to find someone who works in the astronomy field who will take the time to talk to him, who is willing to invest the time to talk to him. And I think that where something like Mentorpool and the idea of Mentorpool could come into play is people who sign up to be mentors have already indicated that they are willing to invest some of their time to talk to somebody who is interested in something that they have pursued in their life. So in the case of my brother, if there was an online tool that allowed him to find people who are astronomers, who are willing to be mentors to potential astronomers, wherever they may be located. They don't have to be just down the road from him in Berkeley. They can actually be on the other side of the world. He could find those people using a tool like mentorpool.com. And I think that that idea is quite brilliant. I myself would probably be willing to both be a mentor and be a protege, because there's lots of areas that I might find interesting that I would love to talk more with somebody about who has lived it. And also, if there was something that I knew that another person was interested in learning more about, I would be more than happy to share my time and share my thoughts, because people love to talk about themselves. They love to talk about what they do, and to find somebody who's interested in listening to it and learning from it, I think that that would be something brilliant. And I think there would be a lot of people who would be interested in doing that. And on the flip side, the people who are potential proteges, the idea that you could enlist the resources of someone who has done it, I think that's a privilege that people would be willing to not only invest the time in, but invest money in as well, because it advances something that they believe is where they want to be in life or even a career. So I think that mentorpool.com is a great idea. I am willing to invest my own time in it, and that I hope it meets with lots of success.